Hello everyone. Today I'll be presenting on topic use of touchscreen panels in aircraft cockpits. This presentation will help us how cockpit technology has evolved from the early analog systems to today's advanced touchscreen panels and how these new interfaces improve efficiency, reduce workload, maintain safety for pilots. At first, let's see about evolution of aircraft cockpit panels. The aircraft cockpit has gone through several major stages of evolution. In the year 1960, flight decks were dominated by analog instruments, that is, mechanical dials and gauges. By the year 1990s, we saw the rise of digital or glass cockpits, where multiple flight parameters were displayed on integrated screens. In the year 2010 and beyond, the industry began adopting touchscreen panels which allow pilots to interact with systems more efficiently. However, throughout all these advancements, one element remained constant, that is, tactical redundancy, meaning physical buttons are still used for critical operations. In early days of aviation, analog panels formed the backbone of aircraft control. These panels use physical gauges and needles to display important flight data such as altitude, airspeed, and heading. Their biggest advantage was reliability. They didn't depend on complex electronic and provided instant visual feedback. However, they also had limitations. They couldn't combine or integrate data and they took lot of cockpit space. An example of this design can be seen in older aircrafts like early Boeing 737 models. Now, let's see about digital glass cockpits. The introduction of digital glass cockpits was a major technological leap. Instead of numerous mechanical gauges, flight data was shown on larger LCD or LED displays known as primary flight display and navigation display. This allowed pilots to view all essential information in one place, improving situational awareness and reducing workload. Features like synthetic vision, weather overlays, and integrated maps help the pilots to make quicker and safer decisions. Modern aircrafts like Boeing 737 MAX and Airbus A320neo are great examples of digital transformation. Now let's move on to touchscreen panels. In today's modern aircrafts, cockpits are moving towards touchscreen based control systems. These control systems provides innovative direct interaction similar to the way we use smartphones or tablets. They offer maximum flexibility, allowing pilots to customize displays according to flight phase or personal preference. Touchscreen also reduce cockpit clutter by replacing numerous switches and knobs. One modern example is Tail's Flight X cockpit, which use larger high-resolution touchscreens for controlling most flight systems. This evolution marks the big step towards smarter, more efficient flight deck design. Even though touchscreen panels are becoming more common, physical buttons and switches are extremely important. They provide tactile feedback, allowing pilots to operate system without needing to look at the controls, especially useful during turbulence or emergencies. These buttons are used for critical functions like autopilot engagement, landing gear operation, and fire suppression. They also serve redundant backups in case of digital or touchscreen failure. Modern cockpits use hybrid design combining touchscreen for flexibility and buttons for reliability. Now let's see how touchscreen panels used in aircraft operation. Touchscreen panels are mainly used for operations that require frequent interaction and easy access to data. Some of the key uses includes: first, the flight management system. In flight management system where pilots can input flight plans, fuel data and waypoints directly by touch. And the second one is navigation and weather display, which allow pilots to zoom in, pan, or adjust maps interactively. And the third one is digital checklist and system monitoring, which replaces paper-based list and provide real-time alerts. And the final thing is customizable layouts, where screens can be rearranged to match the pilot preference or flight condition. This flexibility makes touchscreen a more powerful tool in modern aviation. Now let's see some human factors and safety consideration while using touchscreen technology. The touchscreen technology brings many benefits. It also introduces new design challenges related to human factor. For example, in turbulence, precise touch input can be difficult. To overcome this, designers include haptic feedback and larger touch zones to help pilots confirm inputs. There also a focus on reducing head down time so pilots keep their attention on flying rather than the screen. Aviation authorities and research bodies like NASA are continuously studying these human machine interactions to make touchscreen safer, more responsive, and more reliable under all conditions. This slide visually shows the progression of cockpit panel types from traditional analog gauges to digital glass displays and now to sleek integrated touchscreen panels. It clearly illustrates how cockpit design has evolved to be cleaner, smarter, and more user friendly, reflecting decades of technological innovation in aviation. And finally, to conclude this presentation, touchscreen panels have significantly transformed the way pilots interact with aircraft systems. They provide improved efficiency, reduced cockpit weight, and enhanced situational awareness. However, aviation always prioritizes safety. So, for future flight decks will continue to use hybrid approach, blending the flexibility of touchscreen with the reliability of physical controls. The end goal is smarter, safer, and more innovative cockpits that supports pilots in every situation. Thank you all.